It was supposed to be a quiet weekend. I had just returned from a long shift at the police station and was looking forward to some peace on my farm, sipping coffee on my porch while watching the sun rise over the rolling fields. But that morning, something felt off. I noticed an unusual number of cars parked along the dirt road leading up to my property. There were luxury sedans, SUVs, and even a limo, all parked haphazardly as if the owners had no concern for whose land they were on. My stomach twisted with suspicion. I put down my coffee, grabbed my hat, and walked toward the commotion coming from my barn. As I got closer, my jaw nearly dropped. My barn had been decorated with white drapes and twinkling fairy lights. Dozens of chairs had been set up in neat rows, and a long floral arch stood in front of them. A woman in a white wedding gown stood near the entrance, taking pictures with a professional photographer. Guests dressed in formal wear strolled across my property, sipping champagne. A full catering setup was stationed near my chicken coop, with chefs and servers working as if this were a high-end venue. I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. That's when I spotted the one person I should have known was behind this. Karen. Karen was the self-appointed president of the HOA, though my farm was not under HOA jurisdiction. She constantly tried to enforce rules that didn't apply to my property. But this was a whole new level. I marched up to her, my boots kicking up dust, and crossed my arms. "Karen, what the hell is going on here?" She turned, her smug expression faltering for only a second before she regained her usual arrogant demeanor. "Oh, hi there. You're just in time for the wedding." I narrowed my eyes. "Whose wedding?" "My niece's," she said cheerfully. "Isn't it beautiful? Your barn is just perfect for a rustic wedding." I glanced at the decorated barn and the well-dressed guests, some of whom were now staring at me like I was the intruder. "You didn't ask me," I said, my voice firm. Karen scoffed. "Oh, come on, it's just one afternoon. It's not like you were using the space." I took a deep breath, fighting the urge to lose my temper. "You broke into my barn, used my property, and threw a wedding here without my permission. This is trespassing, Karen." She rolled her eyes. "Don't be so dramatic. We're all neighbors. What's a little generosity?" I smirked and pulled out my phone. "All right, since we're neighbors, I'm sure you won't mind if I call the sheriff and let him sort this out." Karen's face paled. "Wait, there's no need for that." "Oh, there is," I said, dialing, "because I am the police chief." Her mouth dropped open. The guests began whispering, and the groom who had been chatting with the officiant now looked incredibly nervous. Within minutes, uniformed officers arrived. As soon as Karen saw them, she started stammering excuses. I just—" "Save it," I said. "You broke in and hosted an entire event on private property without permission." The bride, looking horrified, approached me. "Please, sir, we didn't know. Karen told us she got permission from the owner." I sighed. The last thing I wanted was to ruin someone's wedding day, but I also wasn't about to let Karen walk away without consequences. "You all need to leave. Now." The guests scrambled, some apologizing, others throwing Karen dirty looks. The catering staff quickly packed up their food, and within an hour the entire event was dismantled. Karen, still protesting, was issued a hefty fine for trespassing and unauthorized use of private property. As I watched the last car leave, I shook my head. HOA Karen had finally crossed the line. And now she really knew who she was messing with.